Okay, so this is our third class, huh? This is our third class. So this is our class number 3, and I'd like to welcome you all to this class in the Communicative English with the diploma batch in the textile department. Okay, so let's proceed. So today we'll be talking about the graph chart and how to describe this chart and how we can be more we can achieve more number in describing these charts, okay? And what is the purpose of describing these charts? So let's proceed with that particular topic. Okay, so here we can see that there's a bar chart, okay? There's a bar chart in there, and there are some questions and there are some answers, okay? Summarize. The question is, the chart below shows the number of men and women in further education in Britain in 3 periods and whether they were studying full-time or part-time. Well, they're basically making a comparison. Everyone, please. So they are making a comparison whether in the full-time students are getting good grades or not, and with the part-time students are getting good grades or not. So they are basically saying that particular thing. Okay. So let's study from here. Yes, you can come, everyone, you can come here. And can anyone zoom it out? Can anyone? Can anyone have that mobile thing to zoom it out? Yes. Pen. Give me a pen, come on. Okay, silence everyone. Can anyone zoom it out with your mobile phone? Okay, no problem. So you can use the same basic structure for academic writing task 1 questions. Ideally, your essay should have 4 paragraphs or basically 4 parts. Okay? If you want to describe this thing, your writing piece should have contained 4 parts. Okay, introduction, overview, first main feature, second main feature. Well, first, an introduction. Well, the chart or the bar chart shows the number of men and women in further education in Britain in 3 periods and whether they were studying full-time or part-time. So this is the basic introduction. Well, this bar chart shows that blah, blah, blah. This is the introduction. And this bar chart has something within that. That's the very much information you should be putting in your introduction. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Okay, then overview. Overview means, at a whole, what can you see in here? Part-time education, full-time education levels black, part-time education levels gray. From some distance, we can say definitely part-timers are great in numbers. Part-timers are overnumbered the full-timers. Yes, then we can say in Britain, the 3 periods, whether they were studying full-time and part-time, and the full-timers were outnumbered by the part-timers. That means there were many part-time students than the full-time students. Maybe just like our university, okay? Many part-time students in the weekend batches rather than full-time students in the regular batches. Okay, so the overview. First main feature. Everything, male and female, both male and female, everyone, in the female part, the number is increasing, see? But in the male part, the number is quite a bit decreasing.
Decrease after increase.
Yes. Increase, decrease, slightly increase, but smaller than the first one. See? So there's the maybe the main feature. The first feature. The second feature could be, yes, everywhere the full-time education is increasing. Definitely increasing. Shortest, medium short, largest. Shortest, medium short, and increasing. See, that could be the second main feature. These 4 parts should be included in your written piece when you are describing this chart, okay? Okay, planning a task 1 IELTS academic writing essay. Well, this is basically follows the shadow of task 1 of IELTS academic writing essay, but I am not giving you that pressure that you have to write in that particular manner, because that will be very much hard for you. But still, if some of you can try that, that will be very good for you guys, because it will increase your skill development. Okay, let's see. The format of every question is the same. Here, the typical question, the highlighted words will always be the same no matter what type of question you get. See, these are the same thing. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. Yes, make comparisons where relevant. In order to write these first feature, second feature, we have to compare. Please understand it very carefully. We have to compare. We have to compare from male to female, with full-time to part-time, okay? We have to compare. Yes, so this is the basically they are making the understanding the questions, okay, here. Let's see what they say next. Okay, so we can say, well, they are basically saying this is bar chart, light graph, table chart, pie chart, process diagram, maps, multiple graph. They can say anything. They can say anything, no problem of it, but you can only say the graph or the chart, okay? Forget everything, because you are not being settled for IELTS exam. You are not here to learn the IELTS course. You are here to pass the Communicative English exam. But still, I am giving you some sort of IELTS training, so that if you want to do good in IELTS, this training could be proven better for you guys. Okay, so there is something, well, I will be uploading this thing to the portal, but first of all, main feature 1, main feature 2, you have to think that very much. Okay, let's do this thing. If I say an introduction, I could say the chart below shows the number of men and women in further education in Britain in 3 periods and whether they were studying full-time or part-time. They were saying that thing. And then I'll be saying in 1970 and 71, in the 70s, well, that's not the overview. The overview should be, everyone please listen to me very carefully. The overview should be the number of part-time education is slightly decreasing. On the other hand, the number of full-time education is always increasing. Thank you. Okay, this is the overview. Okay, first main feature. As you could say that in 1970, in 1970s, in the era of 1970s, there were 1,000 students, 100,000 students. They were at the part-timers. Yes, they were the part-timers, but in 1980s the number decreased by 850,000 students. 850,000 students were those part-timers students. So we can say the number is slightly decreased from the previous decade. See, I am saying the word decade. Decade means 10 years, 10-year tenure. From 2010 to 2020, it's 1 decade. It's 1 decade. The choice of your words will determine your number on the exam scripts. Is that clear? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So, the decade. And then we can say, but afterwards, in 1990s, early 90s from the early 2000, the number slightly increased See, the number slightly increased to 900,000 students, but still less than 70s, 100,000 students. Comparison 1, done. Okay. Comparison 2. This is for the male part. Okay. This one. See the dot. We can see that. Okay. So this one for the male part, and the female part was, well, second main feature. Though the female part was not very much of an uncommon from male part, we can say everywhere, whether it could be in full-time or part-time, okay, whether it could be full-time or part-time, everywhere women education is increasing. See, the men were declining, but the women were inclining the ladder. We can say that. So we can say that yes, though the female were in the 1970s, where the 600,000 students were being part-time students, but in the early 80s, the number increased. The number crossed 800,000 students. And in the 90s, they even crossed the male number. See, the male number has been outnumbered. So more male in the 1970s than more female in the 1990s. So man's education is day by day declining, where women's education is day by day inclining. Then you can say some social factors, then you can say some things that yes, women empowerment or this or that or anything. You can say 2 or 3 lines. If you do not say that things, or if you do not write that thing on your scripts, there's no problem at all. So see, this is how comparison works, okay, for most part. Okay, to recap, to summarize today's main session, number 1, we have to write an introduction. Introduction should be written in here, okay, that is the most important introduction for you guys. Okay, number 2, overview. Increasing, decreasing, we can say in the first loop. Overview should be written what you have seen in the first loop. Please understand that. Overview should be written what you have seen in the first loop. Then the first main feature. Male are basically quite a bit decreasing in the education sector, in the part-time education. And in the full-time education, men are definitely increasing. But in the female sector, whether it could be part-time or full-time, women both are increasing day by day. Yes, from the previous decade to this decade, numbers of women learners, whether it could be part-time or full-time, is definitely increasing. Is that correct? Okay, so that's the second main feature. Then you can say probably 2 or 3 lines that yes, women empowerment, women education and other things. Yes, men and women, men have to pay his wages and man has to look for his family. So man's education will be deprived, and women education, women empowerment, blah blah blah. You can say those things to end your paragraph or to end your writing piece very successfully. Is that clear, everyone? Okay, so that's the end of today's formal session. I would like to stop the recorder.